we start, I think we should give away one of these mini UPSs. GC, do you have anything that you wanna ask or check if people, you know, what they know about the? Actually, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What is the operating system that is on Synology? It's a little good. Okay. Yep. Yes, DSM. Okay, cool. Welcome to those. Yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about surveillance now. GC's up here. I'm actually going to be taking notes because I'm busy setting up my surveillance at home. So yeah, going to be checking out. All right. GC.
Thank you, John. That was an easy question. But anyways,
I'll think of a harder one for next time.
Okay.
We got one more.
Please do. Thank you. Okay, thank you for coming back. I hope that you enjoyed the demo session and the snack and the coffee. And here now I want to have a final session of today because I think you are kind of hungry and maybe a bit fatigued. It's fine. So Synology has this surveillance solutions. And I think, does any of them heard it before? Yeah, really? Okay, cool. Thank you. Because I think that hasn't been addressed enough in the South African market, and that is my job here to actually introduce it to the market here. So I'm really glad that I have this in-person opportunity to be here. So on every Synology NAS, not only the package that we talk about for data protection, for file serving, or for photos and such, we also have this software. It's called Surveillance Station, which you can freely install and start using them. So imagine it is just a surveillance centralized management system. And you don't have to pay extra to do that as well. So you already own the software when you purchase Synology NAS. And however, just let me clarify it in case you are surprised afterwards. So if you are using a non-Synology camera, then you may have to pay for a camera license if your attention to do that. But I think every NAS has a space for 2 license-free camera spots, and then DBA has a 4 license-free spots. Yes. So let me get into that, and then let me show you that how Synology's one-stop surveillance solution can help you and your customers have a more easy life, and an easier life. So when we observe that when people are searching for how to develop their own surveillance program, they normally come into 4 different phases of challenge. So the first one to be evaluation, second one to be deployment, third one to be operation, and then the fourth one will be after you already deployed that, how do you manage them? Yeah. So first one, sorry. Okay, so first one is evaluation. So when it comes to surveillance, we have different components of this entire program, right? So we have cameras, that is the most intuitive one when the management team thinks of surveillance. It's all about cameras, but it's not that easy. We also need a brain to do the surveillance work. We also need a stomach to store those footage. And we also need personnel to do them. So, but there are so many brands over there that has different, for example, we have different camera brands, we have different CMS brands, we have different storage brands. How do they integrate, and how do you choose from them? And are they integrated to each other? Are they compatible? Which one is the first one? So people run into that challenges, and that takes a lot of time. The second one is deployment. So in bigger sites, we tend to have more than 100 or even more than 1,000 cameras on one site, for example, minings here, or for bigger organizations like convenience stores, if they have different branches. For example, like 7-Eleven in Taiwan, like we got 600. 6,000 stores or something. Yeah, so how do you, oh, okay, 7-Eleven is not our customer yet. So yeah, I'm not trying to imply that 7-Eleven is one. But imagine that you have so many cameras that you have to install and then deploy and then connect to them. How do you do it easily? Yeah, that is the second challenge that's often faced. Third one is operation. So how do we actually operate the system? How do you make it easy to use? How do you make it and customize it in a way that you want for your own needs, your organization's need? How do you make them comply with the rule that you have to comply with? That is the third one. And then management, because we want to keep that, since we're already using machines, why do we need to have so many personnel to take care of that, right? And also we know that often surveillance are not managed by IT people. They're probably safeguards, they're probably HRs, they're probably administration people. How do we make them easy for them? Yeah. So that are the 4 challenges that people often face when they are deploying a surveillance program. And then I'm gonna show you that how we can help here. All right, that is surveillance station. So you have a NAS. The camera there is the icon of surveillance station. You can find it on Package Center as well. And then like a portal over there is the CMS portal. Yeah. So I'm proud to say that Synology already developed this one-stop surveillance ecosystem. So we have NAS. We start from NAS, and since last month we also have our own IP cameras. We have storage, which is what we are good at. And also we have multi-devices monitoring, just like what Jennifer said with file serving. We focus a lot on how to make people easy to use at anywhere, at any time. Okay, so 22.3 million plus connected cameras already to surveillance station. Starting from evaluation, how we can help here. So Synology, as we have already said, that we have so many different products, but they are of course with logic, and then you can freely choose which one that suits you the best. I will have a more bigger picture here later. And so you can, basically I'm very confident that you can always find the right one for you, for yourself, or for your customers. So you don't have to look after that. Maybe for this side you have to go for one server, but for another size of device or storage you have to go for another. And that will cause a huge headache. Yes. Okay. So how we see here, as Jennifer introduced, we have the NAS that's starting from 1 bay, and the biggest one is 60 bay for now. And with expansion unit, it can be extended to 300 bay. So if net at Workdale is too expensive, you can come to us. But yeah, we always got you covered, but don't worry, we have a lot in between of 1 and 300. So you can always find the one that suits your customers the most. And we also have this recommended size or model for, depends on how many cameras that you want to connect your surveillance station with. Yes. And another one is our extensive camera compatibility. I talk about Synology IP cameras, but don't worry, we also are compatible with other cameras. So up to today, the surveillance station is compatible with more than 8,200 camera models out there in the market. And those 8,200 are spread to 140 brands and more. Yeah, as long as that integrates on-bit profile S and streaming a profile G for H storage. So as long as the camera is supported on-bit, then you can probably use it. And we also got a compatibility list on the internet that will also help. So that is very good for the customers who already have their own cameras, but they are looking for better CMS. Then maybe they can consider Synology as a solution. Yeah. We also have our own cameras that we are very proudly launched today. Not today, but this year. So we have BC launched last month. We have PC launched this month. And what they are special is, first, it's very easy to use. So you don't need to extra set up for that. As long as you put it there and it's connected to the internet, you can start using them. And then the surveillance station itself, I will talk about it later as well, will automatically get it. So you don't have to do like one by one deployment. Secondly, it's secure. So the Synology IP cameras are NDAA, which is National Defense Agreement Act, and TAA, Trade Agreement Act compliant. And let's put it straight, like all the Chinese brands are not compliant with this one. I think, yeah, so Synology cameras are completely manufactured in Taiwan. There's nothing in China. So that will actually gives the credibility of its security. And if you have a project, like big projects or big tender projects that need to comply with these rules, then maybe Synology cameras can be the way to go. And third is the smart. So in Synology cameras, you already have these built-in features, built-in AI features. So we've got so many different AI features there. I'll talk about it later. But we have like, for example, 7 main ones. Like this one, we have some like incident detection. We also have intrusion detection, etc. Yeah. So combining the easy to use, secure, and smart features that makes Synology a very comprehensive part of the very comprehensive one-stop surveillance solution. Yeah. And then on the other hand, based on research, our recent experience, we also saw that there is a significant growth in storage of footage, right? Because we only record more, we never record less. And very, very unlikely that the people would like to delete the footage because one day it's gonna, we probably need them as well. So over the past, I think between 2022 January to August, we have witnessed that there is a need of growth of by 20% of space in terms of footage storage. So that's very important for the end users to have this scalability in terms of where they store their footage in. So that comes to what Synology is really good at, is the scalability of the storage. So I explained it in the first session that we have very scalable series, and the majority of the options are open for expanding as well. Yeah. So let me give you a quick example of this case study. So this is a case study of Taipei Station front underground shopping mall. So Taipei, I grew up there, and the shopping mall in front of the Taipei Station, which is the biggest station in Taipei, of course. There is I think 2 to 3 kilometers like shopping streets, and there are like 2 ways there. And then there are like small shops, like game shops, there are a lot of foods there, they are basically everything. And then when you have to go to the Taipei metro station, Taipei station, you'll probably go underground from one of the buildings, on the street, and then you go down and then you walk there. So there are plenty of people there every day. And then the population there, the people walk by, the number of people walk by there varies a lot, right? So on Monday morning, maybe no one's there, but Saturday night, there are so many people there. So so this shopping mall started adopting our solution, surveillance station specifically, because they used something else before, and they already have a camera, but they don't like the CMS system itself, because it's not really helping. So they adopt the Synology surveillance station, and Synology surveillance station also helped them connect it with, I think, more than 122 IP cameras, and I think it's getting more now. They are connected to surveillance station, and then it will also help, and with the DBA, which is the deep learning model, that will also help the safeguards to identify whether there is any abnormal events going on. For example, too many people at the same time. Yeah. So that really helps them to simplify everyday work. Yeah. So that sums up that how we can help with evaluation. Like, to recap, we have everything already by ourselves, but so we have all the things like cameras, CMS, and DVA, and such, So you only have to go to Synology for all these components. But if you already have one of them, there's no worries because we also got a very high compatibility feature that can fit your cameras to our surveillance stations. So the second challenge that end users often face is deployment. So with more cameras in there, so for example, shopping mall that they got more than 100 cameras, imagine how it takes, like how much time it takes to import or deploy, import a camera one by one through their IPs or even connected with a physical cable. That must take a long time, right? So we have this rapid camera import that you can use auto search. So users can search all cameras on the network with just one click, for example. And the other way is that you can do IP search as well. So on surveillance station, you have this feature that you can search for like sitting in your office. You don't have to walk to the camera site and then do the work. And third, we also offer this spreadsheet import. So you can have all the IP of the cameras on the spreadsheet and then you just import it in the system. So it's very good for example, like if you have more than 30, 50 or more cameras that you need to import at the same time. Yeah, so that also already saved up a lot of time in terms of deployment. And second one is integration with Active Directory. So we know that people come and go within organizations, and it's such a hassle if you have to change the credential or access level of a certain personnel and every day, right? For example, every week we may have new people come, the next week we'll have people go, the third week we'll have people get promoted. So we don't need to use AD to change them, with the AD that we don't really have to use. We don't have to change it once on the AD and then the other ones on the surveillance station. So it is integrated, surveillance station is integrated with the AD, and there is a example here, RMD, I think is a convenience store in the US. They have almost like 60 branches at least. And they also have this, they use this feature a lot because in the convenience store that you always have people come and go, right? In terms of staff. So that saves up a lot of your time to you only have to, you change the things on the AD and then that will automatically apply to the surveillance station as well. Yeah. So that also eases the pain of deployment for not only camera imports, but also people managing. The third phase is operation. So we already know that so we want to have, so when we do surveillance, we want to be safe, right? We want to be safe and secure, and we want to make sure that everything is in place. So we like to operate it easily. How do we do it with Synology surveillance station? So first, we have connectivity security. So surveillance station supports HTTPS and SRTP enable IP cameras to enhance the security and privacy of the network. Second, we have in terms of system security, that we offer the complete security mechanism, including privilege settings and dual authorization to reduce the risk of unauthorized people to access the system. Yeah, so I have it here. For example, we can set someone as an IT manager, someone as IT personnel, administrator, and a user. So often, manager can be IT manager of the organization, and you can set like other IT guys as admin, and a security guard who sit frontline, but they really don't have access to the footage of the organization. They can be the users. and each of the different roles have different access to different level of the footages. Yeah, and for example, we can also set up the access time for each personnel. So that you don't have to do it, of course, like by hand. Yeah, and then something that was also included in Jennifer's session just now is the secure sign-in feature. So secure sign-in is a package on our NAS already, as we kept saying that. So you can actually enable secure sign-in and then integrate it with a surveillance station to make people who want to access the secure surveillance station prove them that they are the person, the real person. So not only that with account and password that they can access, they have to do it with their phone, with a Face ID, or with like some, you have to click in the right number on your phone, for example. Yeah, so make it secure. And then the third one will be data security, because we know that footage is very private to an organization. So how do we make sure that not only the right person can access the footage, but the footage wouldn't be leaked? So in short, we do data encryption. The first one is that we follow this military standard in encryption. So it's AES 256 standard that's very famous in the military settings. Second one is that we also we have this feature that you can have privacy mask and watermark. Okay, so for example, if that is the front desk of Synology office. If I don't want someone that to know that who is actually sitting at the front desk, I can mark the area out. So on the surveillance station, it looks like a blank area, so that we wouldn't know that who is sitting there. Maybe it's not very a common feature in the front desk, but on, for example, finance area, they will probably want to mark it out, and you don't want someone that is looking at the surveillance station to get these informations. And we can also do watermark, like in the background, there you can see that there is Tony Lin. Yeah, so whenever if there is a footage leaked, you will immediately know that who was the one that caused this problem, and then you can try solving it. Yeah, and also a same surveillance station offers diverse methods to archive the recordings. So Archive Vault is also part of the package in the surveillance station. It's a tool that helps users to accomplish archiving. So with customizable tasks, business can maximize storage utilization while streamlining daily operations. So for example, recordings can be saved on NAS for 30 days, after which they will be archived in the HQ NAS. So it wouldn't be appear on the branches NAS anymore, only in HQ. So to optimize daily operation, the archive task can be set to perform after working hours, so ensure that it wouldn't impact the bandwidth or the internet speed during the work time. Yeah. Also, we have a C2 service for that. So Synology's C2 service is a tool to conduct remote archiving. So that is designed for surveillance station on Synology NAS, of course. C2 surveillance actually allows you to retain a remote copy of your security recordings, so enabling investigation even if this recording server is stolen or physically damaged. So you wouldn't have only one copy of your footage, you can also store it to cloud. And with C2 surveillance, together with surveillance station on-prem, it is streaming more easily and integratedly. So again, C2 surveillance also follows the military standard encryption to make it more secure. Yeah. So that marks that how we can actually easily operate with surveillance station, because surveillance program can be very complicated and time-consuming, but we can operate it in a very easy and secure way. So the first one will be, how do we actually manage that after we already deployed them? We have, as I kept saying, Synology Surveillance Station offers a CMS, Centralized Management System, which means that you can centralize all the management tasks from multiple sites deployment. So you can see we can manage up to 10,000 cameras and 1,000 NAS devices at one place. So deployments on larger scale across multiple sites can fit in. So for example, like we here, as Jennifer had a example, that we often have the HQ either in Cape Town or Joburg, but we also have offices in PE, in Durban and such. And what we can do is that we can manage all the footage or all the recordings on the server, on the Synology server, on NAS, in the HQ. So people in the branches doesn't need to do anything with that. They just have to offer the space, and the footage will automatically be in their NAS and then send it back to the HQ server. Okay, and another thing is good is that we have maps. So it's integrated with maps. You probably can have a look there afterwards as well. So on Surveillance Station, we have integrated with Google Maps and OpenStreetMaps that you can click on the cameras that you have deployed, because it's gonna be shown on the maps. And then you can just very intuitively click on which one you want to search for, and then you can see the immediate recordings and the footage at that time. And we also have multi-location alert tracking or multi-floor support. So it's not only on the surface, but we also have it vertically. Yeah, and online map integration, like I just said. All right, yeah, this is a example in France that used our surveillance station. So this brand, I'm not going to try to pronounce it because my French sucks, but this is a material brand in France. So they have over 350 stores using surveillance station. So as you can see, their branches or their stores spread it out across France, and they have more different, So number says that they have 350 recording servers in each branch, and they have, together they have more than 2,000 IP cameras. But they only have one CMS in the HQ. So with the Synology Surveillance Station, you can integrate those 2,000 cameras and 350 NASs in the branches, and then you can monitor all of them in the HQ. Just sit there, and then you don't have to go to 350 stores. Yeah, and we also offer a system failover that to overcome that if there is something bad happen to the footage, then we're going to fix it. Yes. So that was the 4 challenge phases that a customer often face when they are deploying a surveillance station. It's actually not that hard if you think about it, but it already caused a lot of people's headache to, for example, explain to the boss that why do we need a camera and we also need a CMS and which branch to go, and then you have to check the compatibility list constantly, and then you also face this problem that who should run it and then who should not run it, and then how do we run it. So Synology actually got all that covered, and Synology continue with this, we are the proud feature of very, very easy to use. We also have it on surveillance station, so that takes very, very little time to learn to operate the system. Yes, but advanced, we also have some AI-powered features in the surveillance system. So I have to be honest, like it's not free it's not free in the NAS, but if you are running this AI-powered system, you have to purchase a DBA series for that. It does the brain job, but the NAS can still be the storage. So we have this deep learning MDR solution that gives different, more advanced features. So for example, we have intrusion detection. So if someone is coming in unwanted, then the system will give the notification to the right person. Or we have people and vehicle detection. We have license plate recognition, and that's very good for big sites like mining sites, for example. We also have people and vehicle counting, which will give you a in-time number of how many people has come and how many people has left. Yeah. We have congestion alerts. If there are too many people, they will send the alerts, and then you should probably try to fix that because it's gonna cost danger. And we have face recognition as well. And so if someone comes in and you know that some has already been in, for example, my face was in, of course, the system of Synology, and that was the first time when they were doing the testing, and they did it on the front door. And then I was so shocked when I walked in and I saw my name over there. I was like, I did check it. I did clock it. Why is my name still on it? No, but they was doing the checking. But yeah, that scared me away. And also we do face covering detection. Maybe that was really good in the COVID time. Maybe we'll still find a way to use it if needed. So if someone is not wearing mask, for example, or someone is wearing mask, but in the area that shouldn't be wearing mask, then we can have these notifications. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is a quick example of the Ultra. Ultra is a manufacturer of, for example, Siemens. A very good, very big one, right? And you know that those big customers will always ask them to fulfill certain compliance of rules, for example, for safety or for safety mainly. And this is like big manufacturers, so of course safety is always very, very important here. So deploying DBA series that does the brain job that they could offer now with surveillance station. They can start using, for example, so they can start checking out what is the wanted person, what is the unwanted person, and then they can act accordingly. And also, we have DSCam, which is the mobile apps that can help you monitor and manage the footage at one time, in time. So then the personnel doesn't have to sit in the office and then look at the recordings or footage constantly. They can do it elsewhere as well after the work, but they will still keep the factory safe. Yeah. So that the smart appliance application I just introduced actually fulfill the entire comprehensive product line. So not only we do storage, but we also do the deep learning devices to help you apply more advanced features to your surveillance program. So to recap, how does Synology help in these difficult 4 phases? So for evaluation, when we are looking for the right vendors for each of the right components, Synology not only offers all products, but also we offer the flexibilities to have different scenarios for each organization. And also deployment. It comes to a headache to have all your cameras to be stored to be recognized by the system. But with the IP search, with the spreadsheet import, we learn now actually you can do it actually with ease. Secondly is the operation. Synology offers a solution that you can operate with security. So then you don't have to worry about the wrong person to access the footage, and then the footage will be leaked. So management, it causes a headache if you have different size of cameras, and then you have to and footage, and then you have to manage them together. So we offer this centralized management system for you to do all the things in one place, and then that's easy as well. So yeah, that basically tells you that we just want to stress again that we have this very full ecosystem that it's comprehensive but it's open at the same time. So that actually marks the end of today's session. And thank you very much for being here. This is my email address. If you have any questions, feel free to reach me out if you haven't had my name cards yet. And I'm really honored to be here, and I'm always there for your questions. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Will you be answering all the questions for everybody?
Mostly, yes, if I can, of course. If I cannot, I'll just mark it down and email you with the answers. Yeah.
Okay, cool, perfect. Okay, so we're going to break for lunch after the Q&A. We're going to start the Q&A. Obviously, we've got one more of these mini DC UPSs to give away. I wonder how we're going to do it though. I'm trying to work out what the mechanic is for questions, but I think
if you have any questions?
if you've got any questions, we'll give it to a random, someone has a random question. Yes.
Your camera system, does it do fire detection?
Fire detection?
Yes.
Oh, you mean fire detection, whether there is fire, right?
Yes.
I don't think we have it. Do we have it? No.
No, it's interesting to see if there's like a little fire breaks out, you'll know that the...
Okay, no.
Yeah.
But that may be a good feature if they're developing one. I'm
So-
gonna give the feedback.
so-
Thank you.
Over there? Yeah.
I was going to ask a question. So on the IP cameras,
Yes.
so on the IP camera you need a PoE obviously to boot up the IPs, and then you needed the NVR. So does the NAS cancel the NVR?
Does the NAC can still
Cancel out the NVR.
Yes.
So I don't need to buy NVR. So
No.
So
Yeah,
all that I need is.
Yeah, exactly. So the NAS can serve as an NVR and a storage at the same time. Yes, please.
I saw Active Directory integration.
Yes.
Does that also apply to SAML integration? So like Azure AD integration?
Sorry again.
SAML integration. So instead of actually using Active Directory, you can use your other directory services, like an API connected to it, like Microsoft Azure.
Okay. So actually, yeah. Yes. Sorry.
With regards to your deep learning AI, both on your cameras and your DBA scene models, up to how many objects in a scene can or detect and classify for one device?
How many cameras?
How many objects
How many objects?
can you detect and classify in the scene?
Okay. So, sorry.
Up to
Four
four
simultaneous
objects.
incidents on the small unit and 8 on the big unit. So they pick up 4 people's faces at the same time, recognize them, identify them. It's got a built-in NVIDIA card, or an NVIDIA card inside that does look at this process.
Okay.
So it's 4 and 8.
Is there a question?
Yes,
Sorry.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Just a question around replication. If you've got 2 Synology NAS devices, linked to, for example, a Windows server, running in an iSCSI configuration, so your Windows server is treating it as iSCSI storage. If you want to then take that iSCSI storage and you want to replicate it off-site or to a different location or even on-site, does it do block replicate? Well, first of all, can it do replication if you're using it as iSCSI storage, first of all? And secondly, when it does do replication, does it also apply deduplication as well as replication at a block level?
That's good.
So it employs CDT.
Yeah. So we do global dedupe and replica.
And a block.
And block tracking.
And it would support, for example, ESXi VMware type implementation. So you could also do it, for example, on a Hyper-V storage as well as VMware, and it would do it at a VM level included. So what I'm trying to say is actually agnostic. It doesn't care what data you're storing there. We would just treat it as data, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
When you've got a situation where you've got multiple sites or multiple branches for your surveillance and you've got a CMS, what is the mechanics of having those sites basically pushing the footage back to the CMS? What is that mechanics like? Do you need some sort of a VPN facility to get them back to the CMS, or how does that work?
So you are talking about like multiple sites. Like how does the
How do I get
camera?
How do I get that footage to the CMS?
Okay. So different branch NASA 那个 HQ 的 CMS。Yeah, this one doesn't make it local. So HTTP. Yeah, so we use HTTPS to link the footage back. Yeah,
So
is that what you're
API.
Okay, yeah. Right.
Another question.
Yes.
If I have 350 stores, separate
Yeah.
stores, would each store manager be able to view the footage separately, access to it separately?
You may access it, so for example, store A, the manager of store A can only access to the store A footage, right? Is that what your question? Yes. Yes. So, before you have the CMS sitting in the HQ, so before you did that, actually all of footage are separately in different stores. So at this point, they are not related until you have the CMS sitting in your HQ and then kind of connect them together. But for different branches, they are still independent.
Yeah. But would you have access via desktop or how would you have access?
Both. You can do both. Yes.
Okay, just add on for the fire detection. Because for some module, we have the surveillance station can do the integration with IO module. So if the devices you have is integrated with IO module, maybe we can set it up with the surveillance station. So we can do the further management with the fire detection. Just add on for the information.
Sorry, just to add to this question, I'm assuming you use 80 to group people together to say that these 50 people can access those 50 cams and these 10 people can access those cams or specific areas. So if you've got a multinational, you've got different business divisions or different companies within the group, you can assign certain people to certain companies or groups of people, for example, like a finance team, as such. That's possible through 80?
Yes.
Great.
What would a finance team do? Watch the bank vault like Scrooge McDuck.
You don't want to know what they get up to.
I noticed your support for on-off profiles is SMG, so that's your basic streaming profile and then Edge. Are you planning to have any other profiles, support any other profiles, like your profile in for third-party analytics? For third-party cameras that have analytics built in.
Okay.
Would you look into the future of having support for profile in?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. No, I think no. So, not to my knowledge, actually, yeah. So, but I'm gonna check with my roadmap, actually, yeah.
I'm thinking of existing sites that have built-in analytics and say the customer want to upgrade their system.
Yes.
And they have built-in analytics on the cameras. So I'm thinking if there was a solution to have profile in, that camera could then stream the metadata back and would support it.
Okay, I see. So your customer already have those cameras,
Yes.
but they are looking for maybe better CMS that can run the AI functions with.
Yes.
And then they don't have, the cameras don't have on-web or.
Yeah, they would have the profile in support
Okay.
or compatibility.
I think the DBA would replace that. It would actually just use the own video stream and then use its own system to generate AI.
Process the
Yeah.
Also, there's 3,200 cameras on the compatibility list, and I've integrated some Vision Dower license plate cameras already onto Synology. So if it's on the compatibility list, then all those features will be supported.
Yeah.
It's only on the OAVI site that they haven't got that
exactly.
support. So
No problem.
I have a question about viewing in like different locations that maybe the customer doesn't want to interact with it. So not a piece of software that's running on an actual like a computer or something like that. More of a seamless situation. Like let's say it's a kitchen, right? And there's a screen in the kitchen.
Yes.
And you want to just display, let's say, 8 cameras or 16 cameras, something like that. So a common question that we get from customers when we do the CCTV installations in homes, they want to literally be able to walk into a room and walk out of the room and just be able to look at the cameras.
Yes.
Do you have like a viewing model, like a device that you can purchase that will just display the camera so you can control that client remotely? Is that something that you have? Would you have anything that can show the cameras without you actually interacting with that device?
So you're saying that the camera needs to follow the.
No, it's got nothing to do with the camera. It's got to do with the user being able to view all the cameras on site from one place.
Ah,
So
yes.
like in the kitchen, be able to look around the property without actually interacting with the device itself.
Yes.
You know, do you have something like that?
Yeah, actually the entire portal is very like, you can have multiple
But then it's a
cameras.
piece of software that has to be installed on a device, right?
Yeah,
But then what happens if you have, for example, like a kitchen where the one wanting to be able to look around the house, but you've got a guardhouse to just be able to see, let's say, more. Now you have two different types of feeds that you need to view. Like we have a customer that's got a garage or kitchen, you know.
Yeah, so, sorry, I can jump in because I actually know. So in the software you can set up different like stages.
Okay.
So you can do, like there are different tabs, you can open them up. And then you can choose what cameras are going to be in that stage. And it's just through like a internet browser. So if you've got like a Raspberry Pi set up in like the garden station, you can just like, as long as it's got Wi-Fi, I can check what's
But how
going on.
stable is that? Because from our experience when we've tested other vendors, which I won't mention, normally after a day or two, or sometimes a week in best case, it crashes, or it freezes, or one of the cameras kind of starts to lose time, or something like that. Then you've got to interact with it all the time. We have a solution that we put together that actually just works.
I would just like, I don't know, control R.
But
that's your problem, yeah.
Interact with it, and we don't want that. We control this device that I'm referring to by remote. So we have customers that we don't have to touch it.
Could you?
We can,
It's a lame example, but could you set up the browser just to like like every 30 minutes, just like refresh it? So yeah, that's the easiest.
Can I just say, there's a product called Visual Station. Synology have a unit